We're asked to use the table to determine h prime of 1 if h of x equals f of x divided by g of x. Because h of x is a quotient of two functions of x, we need to apply the quotient rule of differentiation to determine h prime of x. Once we have h prime of x, we can then use the table to determine h prime of 1. Looking at our notes on the right, the quotient rule is the derivative of u divided by v with respect to x equals v times u prime minus u times v prime, all divided by v squared. We'll notice the denominator is the square of the original denominator, and the numerator is the denominator times the derivative of the numerator minus the numerator times the derivative of the denominator. Referencing the formula, notice in our case, u is equal to f of x, and v is equal to g of x. This indicates for h prime of x, we have h prime of x equals, starting with the denominator of the derivative is v squared, or the square of the original denominator, which is the square of g of x. And the numerator is v, or the denominator of g of x, times u prime, which is the derivative of the numerator, which is f prime of x, minus u, which is the numerator of f of x, and then times v prime, which is the derivative of the denominator, which is g prime of x. This indicates that h prime of 1 is equal to g of 1 times f prime of 1 minus f of 1 times g prime of 1, all divided by the square of g of 1. And now we can use a table to determine all these function values by using the column for x equals 1, which is the first column. Starting in the denominator, notice g of 1 is 4, and therefore the denominator is 4 squared. In the numerator, we have g of 1 is 4, times f prime of 1 is 4, and then minus f of 1 is 4, times g prime of 1 is 3. Simplifying, we have, looks like 16 minus 12 in the numerator and 16 in the denominator. Simplifying, we have 4/16, which simplifies to 1/4. h prime of 1 equals 1/4. I hope you found this helpful.